projects which are willing to migrate to Web3. And we wish to bring those things, and we wish they share our opinion and our concept, which I would like to share with you right now in a couple of moments. And this concept is like bringing value back to the users and back to the dApps. So that's why I have this presentation over here in 15 slides. I'm gonna introduce how we're gonna do this and what is our vision. So first of all, I'd like to open the presentation with the problems which we are facing in Web3 world. And the first is the barriers which we have in right now in the market, and which are not giving us possibility to bring more users and more mass adopters to the market. And the first thing is registration of the accounts, what we have in. We don't have one more very big barrier which we have in right now. I would like to add this to this application is regulation in different countries. Should be blockchain regulated or not regulated? This is a big question which is not solved yet, and people struggling, and that's why we have all this battling and news with SEC right now. But our presentation not about that. Our presentation is about things we can control and we can solve and can basically make better. So when the user journey starts from the beginners, when the beginners come into the blockchain, they don't know anything about the blockchain. And those users, as we have, we call it zero knowledge protocol. Those users, I call them zero knowledge users. It's a newbies and beginners which don't know what it is. They just want to play some game or some application without knowing and studying long terms of the blockchain. So our vision is to deliver products to those users which don't need to learn pretty much technical things. And what barriers they face it? The first is registration of account. When you come into the blockchain, right now is for us being here in the field for a pretty long time. It's pretty simple, that like having seed phrase, and you can store the seed phrase in some safe place. You can use some ledger hardware like cold solutions, hot wallets for small amount of tokens, and all these things. So seed phrase for us is understandable. But still, right now, many people can lose the seed phrase, and when they lose seed phrase, they lose their assets. So for those people who don't know, be careful with your seed phrase if you are using those kind of seed phrase and self-ownership, self-custody wallets. And solutions for this are custodial wallet solution, MPC wallets, like multiple party computational wallets, and AA wallets, which helping to store the seed phrase in different way. And avoid the losing of or leaking out the data of the seed phrase to outside. The second barrier is interaction with the blockchain. When you need to have a blockchain, you need to buy a native token. So even I have an account and someone send me some money, I need to have some Ethereum on this, if it's an Ethereum account, to send this funds to another token. So this is a problem. And this is one of the reasons we have GasFee, and we can solve this problem with the GasZero protocol. And this problem is very important and have been ignored till now, and not many people pay attention that we can basically solve this problem. You don't need to pay for each transaction on the blockchain. Your account can be approved as zero GasZero, like zero gas account, and you don't need to do all this interaction with the blockchain so frequently, and you can use blockchain more smoothly in such case. So, and that's the most our conversation today, like our presentation. My presentation today will be about the like gas fees and no gas for users. And the data show us, if we check this Web3 funnel and traditional blockchain we have been looking before, and if we use an implementation of different solutions, it will be looks like this. So when you have a seed phrase, your conversion rate will be 15% from the 100%. On the left side, we see existing solutions. On the right side, we see innovative solutions, GasZero using right now. And if you are using MPCAA wallet, when you can register your account with your Google account or your Facebook account or whatever account you have, or just email, then your interaction rate and your retention rate will be way higher, 55%. The second thing is OTC, where you get tokens, how you get tokens to interact with the blockchain. And if you are using fiat on-prem, then you have retention rate 25% instead of 10%. And when we have in like gas fee needed for each chain and for forever, and we have a zero gas interaction instead of that, so is in such case retention rate will be 13.75 compared to 1.5%. So in the end of the story, we have a 0.15% retention comparison to if we are using innovating solution 22%, which is pretty significant and which is paying a huge impact on bringing more users. Let's say a Web2 game, which is basically one to let users play, but most of Web2 games do not have business model which can bring sustainable income. And we say we have Web3 game using existing models, which we see on left column. So in such case, Web2 game do not have possibility to monetize their users. Web3 game has possibility to monetize their users, but they did not have possibility to advertise them to wide audience because as we know, blockchain audience is limited and there is pretty high competition for all Web3 users. But facing Web2 users and giving them implementation of innovating use cases as zero gas, fiat on RAM, and PCAA wallet solutions, giving us possibility to have retention rate and promote our game to Web2 users by using traditional SEO and mass media and social media tools and marketing tools, which can give higher chance for new DAPP on GasZero to survive compared to other blockchains in the past. This is very important to understand because no one launching projects to fail. All people, like they have good logic, they want to launch projects to win and to be successful projects. And we give them the higher chance to be like that. That's our target and this is our goal. So step into the second thing, like cost factor, how we technically reducing our costs. Because as we understand, basically there is a gas cost, but these costs shouldn't pay by users, but should be paid by the dApps. But the dApps also don't want to pay high gas costs. So how we reduce the gas cost? By using a ZK rollup solution, we batch in transaction from 150, 200 transaction. We put it in one batch on layer 2 GasZero, and then we put in this transaction on layer 1, which is Ethereum, and we have in such case we have data availability on Ethereum. This has given possibility to save a lot of costs, which users on layer 1 do not have. So basically, Ethereum users, they do not have this kind of benefit, and they cannot do like this. So that's why we have ZK rollup solution. Step into the next page. How we calculate cost per transaction is how we put in all this cost together. So, for example, ZK protocol and data availability and layer 1 settlement, we add together and we separate on number of transactions on layer 2 at some period of time, at some given time period. So in such case, what we can find out from this calculation, that if more blockchain dApps we will have, like Web3 dApps on a GasZero, as cheaper transaction will be. So for example, if we have like 1,000 transaction in 1 hour, the cost pretty high. If we have 10,000, the cost per transaction will be way less because we are using the same infrastructure for 1,000 and for 10,000 transactions. More transactions will share more infrastructure costs between them. Some people will ask, what are you gonna do if you're gonna face 100,000 transactions in 10 minutes or like in 1 minute, like in a very short period of time? Then we will basically increase we will scale horizontally. This means we'll increase our amount of nodes, and we will basically promote our blockchain as more infra-friendly. So we will invite more infra providers, professional infra providers, to be our nodes on the GasZero. And this will give a benefit to them because our network will be full of transactions. But we do not scared and are not afraid of that, because we see the trend right now during the bearish market. There is a lot of zombie chains. We call it zombie chains. It's basically blockchains existing on a trading on a kind of exchanges, and people trading their coins, but there are no interaction on the blockchain. And we are basically here to solve this problem and have transactions on the blockchain. This is our target. This is our aim. And our overall goal is to minimize the cost of data availability and for Ethereum, minimize cost of proofs. So each proof on transaction we want to minimize by optimize ZKP, optimizing size, time, and hardware for transactions, like nodes for transactions, and increase the number of users per transaction. When we increase more users, we increase more use cases, then it's mean the transaction per cost for each DApp will be less than before. All right, so here is very good slide, and it shows our business model. So here is a comparison of existing Web3 model of layer 1, what we have right now in the market, and Web3 freemium model, what we have with the GasZero. So as we see right now in existing market, most of blockchains are blockchain-oriented businesses. It's basically when user come, user need to pay service fees for the dApps, and user need to pay gas fees for the chain in order to interact with the blockchain. And the dApp in from their party need to pay gas fees for the blockchain as well. So we think this model do not work for existing market, and it should be more democratized and less monopolized by the blockchain. So if the user want to come to the blockchain, they just pay a service fee for the dApp. They interact with the dApp itself, and the dApp pay infra fees, and users pay less gas fees or none. So what it does mean less or none is mean there's not all users will have zero fees benefit. We need to understand this thing, and I will introduce this concept a bit later. So in such case, we are becoming user-friendly, user-oriented, and dApp-oriented blockchain instead of being chain-oriented. So infra fees going to be paid by the dApp, and user just interact with the dApp and just enjoy the game, let's say, if the game in our case. Step into the next slide. So what is our architecture? So you use end user comment, and you don't need to interact with the gas fees. Like when we start interacting, it should be confirmed by the amount of transaction that is a real user. For this thing, we have credibility oracle, and this user will be able to interact with the blockchain. And then blockchain by itself should be secure. So it should have security model, policy engine, credibility oracles, and resource balancer, which basically balance resources in adequate way for the dApps and for the users. And And then when from another side there is a DAPP developers, they come in and see the policy, they give in feedback, and they can interact with GasZero infra. That's how we see the thing, and the responsibility for the GasZero in our case to be stable blockchain, no delays, no clogs, have instant transactions, provide GasZero for users who are credible enough to have it, have data availability and settlement on layer 1. That's what we have to do. Gasless solutions. So basically, there are different levels which we have. We have application level, contract, smart contract level, and node level. And our vision. We need to solve this as much as possible problems on the node level, and do not bring to the contract level. So these problems won't be heavy and won't take gas to solve. So zero gas by GasZero is a solution which will be solved on the node level. And interaction with the smart contract should be paid by third parties, paid by dApps. When user interact with the blockchain and he need to pay gas, if he need to pay in the beginning or later, he can pay by any token, by using any token, but not only a native token. So for example, if I want to send some stable coins, but my account is not approved as a GasZero account, I still can pay by using stable coin instead of native token on a blockchain. That's how we see the vision. And in such case, that friction cost will be way lower, and there will be more interactions with the blockchain. More users will be having more benefits from such blockchain. Here I want to say a few words about our pillars of values of our blockchain. We have 3 pillars of the value. Our blockchain should be affordable, defensible, and justifiable. So affordable is mean by using ZK rollup, we minimize transaction costs, and more people want to use, more dApps are willing to interact with such blockchain, which is not costly, and bring in friendly infrastructure to the dApps. Defensible, this blockchain should be strong and robust enough network and can stand against different viral attacks as a DDoS and Sybil attacks, and do not let malicious players to hack accounts or hack with the blockchain. So that's our second pillar, and justifiable. So we use appropriate method to bring more users and justify which users, and share resources between users and dApps in more fair way. That's what we are willing to have. So affordable, defensible, and justifiable, our 3 pillars which we are bringing to the blockchain, and this is our code of conduct to the users, and that's what we are willing to stay with and stick to this. So here is a page you can make a screenshot. Basically, it's about technical data what we have right now. So we are using ZK EVM, and we are on Ethereum Goerli testnet right now. We are using a single sequencer of Ethereum data availability, and we are ZK protocol based on CPU. We have 115 transactions per batch as a proof. Our synchronization, sync rule, like we sync transactions on 2 terms, on a time-based and amount of database. So basically 13,172 bytes database to start approving transaction. If not this amount is coming, then you need to wait 60 seconds to approve transaction. So if we have more transactions on the blockchain, then transaction will be faster and faster, because the first rule of 13,172 bytes will work. That's how it works. So probably I think it can be confirmation time of 2 seconds and kind of this. Our estimated expenses for data availability on layer 1 is $30,000 to $50,000 per month is our infra cost for having transactions on layer 1. And if you want to check our RPC field, you can check a link. Our chain ID is 12021, and also can explore our testnet. Welcome, as always, welcome. Try to hack, try to play, try to propose different applications, and try to deploy your smart contracts. Happy to talk to you. You also can write down to us ticket, open a ticket, or write an email if you want to implement your DAPP on the GasZero blockchain. Always welcome. We'll reply pretty fast. We are testing right now our blockchain, and are gonna do it in the upcoming few months. Step into our go-to-market strategy. As the first use case, we are focused on Web3 games and social fi, because there is the biggest amount of transactions and we can increase our DAU. It's basically what we are looking for is to have as much as possible transactions on the blockchain to test limits of the blockchain and to understand how far we can go with the amount of transaction per second and per day. And the next stage, we're going to focus on DEXs and DeFi protocols to bring more liquidity to the protocol, to let more users interact with the blockchain. But this stage will be more available already on the mainnet after launching the mainnet. So we want to test. We want more DEXs and DeFi came to the testnet to test, but launch real product on the mainnet in the future. And after that, we want to focus on zero gas stable coins transactions. So for the frequent transactions, when people want to do some arbitration on chain, GasZero will be a perfect solution. So that's because they don't need to pay any fees. So arbitration will be the most affordable on the GasZero. The chain with the killer apps wins. So our solution to bring Web2 big games or already existing games and help them to deploy their game on chain. For these things, we are using third parties, agents, and we are looking by ourselves, and also help to incubate new protocols which want to be part of our infrastructure, or new games which testing themselves in different blockchains. We're cooperating with wide amount of partners, which I will talk a bit later. A bit about our founders. Our founders have been in the market for a pretty long time and have multiple successful exits in different businesses, especially in the gaming field. And they have a very good background, which you can check a little bit later in our LinkedIn page. And you also can write down an email to us to know better about GasZero. Talking about the roadmap, we are right now on the alpha testnet launch, and we are right now onboarding our first 10 dApps to launch, and we have in a grant program, Zero Gas Grant number 1, which basically given a grant in the form of marketing expenses fees. Like if for example we found the killer app which want to launch with us, and they win our grant program, instead of giving money to this application, we are willing to pay their marketing and promotional costs, which is more fair and more, in such case, we know where your money will be spent. So our users will support us way better, and will be more transparency in spending funds for the users in such case. So we are planning to launch our alpha mainnet in quarter 1 2024, We have three main products I'm going to talk a little bit later about. One of them is Node Shield. Another is Meta ID and Credibility Oracles. So first of all, we're gonna launch our two flagship dApps. We don't want to launch huge amount and support huge amount. If some people want to come, we will support it, but we also want to know that this will be strong dApps, and we want to make them promote them as a leaders on the GasZero. So in such case, we don't want to spend our funds on promoting a blockchain by itself. Instead of that, we want to promote use cases on our blockchain. And this is very important because in such case, this dApp will stick to our blockchain. They don't need to be multiple blockchain or blockchain agnostic in the future, because they will have already sustainable business, not only business model on the blockchain. And in the future, in Q2, Q4 2024, we want to be top daily active users on layer 2. Already launched our coin to that time. We want to activate DAO, and we want to go build ecosystem with more partners in a blockchain field. And in 2025, we are looking for, we'll be focused on more use cases and to increase TVLs for DeFi protocols, and we'll be focused on zero gas stablecoin launching. A couple words about the infrastructure, GameFi and DeFi partners. You can see these names. So this is our existing partners which we are talking with, and they basically our use cases for our future. So basically, we have tight cooperation and keep very good relationships with these projects, and we are looking forward to have more bigger and wider partners, and basically ecosystem. This ecosystem page will be way bigger in the future, but we are on the way to that. And with your help, guys, and with support, we basically can do it better. So that's why we're having this call together with the whalers today, and wish you pay attention and ask us some questions in the future, and probably be our partner in the future and be on the same page with our partners. That's everything what I would say. Here is our founder Adam's email or our Twitter. You can find us on the Twitter, follow us on the Twitter to see our news, subscribe on the Telegram, and they basically everything what I would like to share for right now. A couple words about our existing products. We are building right now Meta ID. It's a ZK knowledge solution, is like zero knowledge solution for DID, where we can identify our users. Get back to this page. Yeah, where we can identify our users as zero gas users, because as you understand, many users will come to the blockchain, and some of them will be malicious users. They want to make nonsense kind of unnecessary transactions on the blockchain, which can spam network, and we don't have it. So basically, we will not give benefit of zero gas benefit to these users, because these users are not kind of value contributors, but basically value extractors. Instead of this, we will they need to pay gas. Yes.
Excuse me. Because of some problem with the Zoom meeting, I need to return it, and you go back in for one time, okay? And you can send me the Telegram handle, and I will invite you again.
Okay. I'll chat. Send you Telegram handle.
Okay. Sorry for the problem.
Okay. You
Okay.
can find me here.
Okay, thank you. I will end this meeting right now, and I will go back again.